What's up guys, it's Chris Majestic, and I wanted to do a really quick video today about a question that I get asked a lot, and that's what projector do I use in my home theater? So as you can probably tell from the title, I'm still using the Epson 5050UB. Now this video is not sponsored by Epson or anything, and I'm not implying that this is the best projector out there. I just wanted to share my thoughts on it since people ask me this question so often. I'm definitely open to other projectors, and I'll talk about some newer projectors that I might replace it with later in the video. So out of all of the projectors that I've tested in my home theater, why am I still using this one? Well, most of my reasons are a matter of personal preference, but I've broken it down into 5 reasons. The first reason why I still use the Epson 5050UB is brightness. There's a reason that people call this projector a light cannon. It's not just the fact that it's bright, any projector can be bright, it's the fact that it also produces bright colors, which is something that DLP projectors often struggle with. Now I've done videos talking about the differences between 3LCD and DLP in the past, so I'll link that here in case you're interested, but even though 3LCD does have its shortcomings, the one place where it shines is in color brightness. So without going too deep into it, DLP projectors with high brightness usually have a modified color wheel that allows more white light to come through, which allows the projector to produce brighter whites while sacrificing color accuracy. The Epson, on the other hand, has equal color and white brightness, which looks much better, especially in a room with ambient light. This not only produces a really bright image, but it also allows for really high color accuracy. Now the downside to 3LCD projectors is that the DLP projectors are much sharper since the 5050UB is only half the resolution of 4K. This is pretty noticeable in person and it's a big deal for some people, but I found that in my use case that all the features of the Epson outweigh the benefits of a sharper image. Alright, so moving on to the second reason, which is input lag. If you've ever gamed on a TV or projector and something just felt a little off, it was probably input lag. Input lag is one of those things you can feel just isn't quite right, and it has a drastic effect on your gaming in certain fast-paced games. I've measured the input lag from the 5050UB, and I generally average somewhere around 20 milliseconds, which is great for such a bright and color accurate projector. I've often found that most gaming projectors usually lack color accuracy, so to get less than 30 milliseconds of input lag from a projector with such good HDR and color accuracy is a pretty big deal. I've tested a few projectors that do have better image quality than the Epson, but as soon as I fire up my favorite game, I remember why I keep going back to it. Alright, so moving on to reason number 3, and that's HDR and black level performance. Now there are definitely projectors out there that have better HDR, but for the money, the 5050UB does a fantastic job. The fact that it's so bright, has great color accuracy and stunning black levels makes for some really good HDR. So supposedly the UB in 5050UB stands for ultra black, and I think it's worthy of the name. It's usually one of those things I forget about until I test out a cheaper projector and I immediately see the difference in black levels. And the fourth reason I still use this projector is for its hardware features. So the 5050UB is one of the few projectors under $3,000 that has a motorized lens with lens memory, HDMI CEC, and generous horizontal and vertical lens shift. This makes installation much easier and allows you to use it in a home theater that has a CinemaScope screen. And HDMI CEC is one of those things that I always say should be on every projector. To put it into perspective, I have a Harmony Elite remote that I think I might have paid like $300 for, and I don't use it anymore because I come down the basement and I use the Shield remote to control everything. Now this might seem trivial in theory, but once you have a projector that works like this, you'll never go back. And the lens shift on this projector is unlike most projectors I've seen. It has enough vertical lens shift for you to actually sit it right side up on a shelf in the back of the room, and you can even use it off center since it has a good amount of horizontal lens shift. So this is definitely one of the most versatile projectors you can get for the money. And the last reason I want to talk about is the price. Now I know the retail price of $3,000 is way more than most people want to spend, but the fact that I picked this projector over others that cost slightly more says a lot. For the money, especially when it goes on sale, I think it's worth every penny if you need the added benefits that it has over cheaper projectors. Now, the one thing I haven't really talked about is that this is not a 4K projector. It does have pixel shifting to get to half the resolution of 4K, but it's not 4K. Now, generally, I've found that people tend to get really caught up on resolution, but then they go to the movies and watch a 2K projector on a 100-foot screen and still enjoy it. Now, don't get me wrong, I do miss the sharpness of my old Optima UHD 60, and resolution is really important to me, but for some reason, I still prefer the Epson. All right, so I've given you some reasons why I like this projector, but what would I replace it with if I had to upgrade? Well, there are a few projectors I consider over the Epson. I absolutely love the JVC NX7 and NX5. Now, these projectors literally double and triple the price of the Epson, but they're better in pretty much every way. They both use a native 4K chip, so they're among the sharpest projectors on the market. Now, they're not quite as bright as the Epson since they're meant to be used in a darkroom, but the image quality is absolutely insane and they look incredible with HDR. Another projector I consider is the Sony VW715ES. This thing retails for a whopping $10,000, but if your pockets are deep enough, this is another fantastic projector that has great black levels and color accuracy. And I do have plans to get my hands on some of these projectors for some reviews, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel and have that bell notification turned on so you get notified of new videos. And after waiting for what seems like an eternity, the Epson LS500 Ultra Short Throw projector is finally arriving this week, so be on the lookout for that video. I also have the Hisense L5 Ultra Short Throw set up right now for testing, so that video will be coming really soon. So with all these ultra short throw projectors laying around, I do have plans on doing an ultra short throw projector shootout, but the only thing I'm waiting for is the last piece of the puzzle, which is the Samsung LS9 PT, which I still haven't gotten my hands on yet. But that's gonna do it for this video, guys. If you found it helpful, go ahead and make sure you mash that like button for me. Go ahead and post your questions and comments in the comment section. I'd love to get a conversation going. Again, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and I'll see you guys in the next video.